Good afternoon, colleagues and everyone. I hope you are well and warm. I know it's been cold in the morning. I'll try not to take a lot of time because I know I'm standing between you and seeing the rest of Franjuk, but I have like 35 slides to go through. Good luck. So my job is not that hectic to say. I've been tasked and delegated by the professionalization committee to come and give you an update of what has been happening between last year when we made certain promises and this year and how far we are. I know most of you are expecting something great, but we had setbacks. But I think Dr. Morris said something that stood out for me, and she said, don't implement for implementing. So as the professionalization committee, we decided not to implement things for the sake of ticking boxes, because to be honest, we don't have resources as KMSA to fight against questions and what we call it, queries if we do give you a product that is not of high quality. Because we want you as KMSA, when you say you are a professional KMSA person or a knowledge manager, knowledge specialist, whichever name that we are being awarded when we do this job, you can stand firm and say, I have been appointed and given this designation. So I'm saying this as a disclaimer that do not have high hopes. Your high hopes will be attended to in the next so we promise. If it means we don't sleep, we won't sleep. But for now, we have done what we can, and based on wisdom and advice, we had to step back, relook, and restart. So it's a disclaimer that you should know that the update might come up with a relook and restart. So we all know that this committee has been there to do a number of things, and we all want to be professionalized and all want to be designated. So there are a number of other activities that have been identified. We have the goal to conclude the competency framework, finalize the SAQA registration or relook at it, embed the code of conduct, and establish a process, a professionalization process for public, corporate, NGO, and academic sectors. This part talks to our stakeholder mandate that we've been given to achieve. Before I go anywhere, this is the committee. I'm not the only one in the committee. I have a group of experts, like-minded, highly active people that will cut and chop anything you put on the plate that doesn't have direction. Leading this group of people, you need to, sometimes in the meeting, I look at my wine collection, I'm like, I think I need a glass. You cannot cheat them with half-baked goods, especially in Tatamolana. He will chop you, and Prof, she will ask you questions like you are submitting a thesis. So if you're going to submit a thesis to her, be ready. Because every day I submit a thesis. So I am the delegated chairperson. Prof is the deputy. We have our, I'll call him experts in knowledge hub, Tate Chauke, and Tate Mokwena, who's with the NSG, and he will also make you feel like you're submitting an assignment. And we have Susan, who's the master of everything, and Mapule, who will take you back to what they have been doing. So she's our archive. So the good thing about this committee, all the chairpersons of the previous committee are here. So I made sure they're here so that they can be accountable to the past errors. I cannot bear that grant alone. So this is the agenda that we'll be focusing on in this period. The designation work, I'll speak more to all of this in the next coming slides. The designation work, the assessment tool that I will discuss. We want to also work on the benchmarking tool. This is something new that we're still exploring, and we'll bring it back after we've piloted. And as I said, the committee wants you to fine comb everything that you bring to the table. And the code of conduct, which will align to the designation work as well. And because we have learned from our mistakes, we have captured some lessons, and we have realized that we cannot all six of us be superwomen. We will also be piloting the technical working group that will work together with the committee. So I will also work on that. So when it comes to the designation, the KM designation, a lot of things have been done by the previous committees. A lot of work has been done. But in that process, we realized that we need to go back to the drawing board. I won't read this verbatim, otherwise it will be death by PowerPoint in its afternoon. So we did do the adjudication process. We had a call out to the community for adjudicators to come in. And certainly for us, which is something that I really think as a KM community we need to take responsibility for. We don't come to the party when there's a call out. And we expect things to happen. And we expect ourselves to shine. We cannot do that with a few selected people. We are focusing on KM in South Africa, not KM in Gauteng, KM in the Western Cape, or KM in KZN or Limpopo. So we will be having call-outs, and we will really like people to come, because we have experts in this field that some of us, when we went through the process, we realized we dropped the ball somewhere, or we do not align, because a person will come with a fresh and say, you can't do this. So this is one of the things that has been a challenge when it comes to this work. But I would like to really, before I continue, just give Kholane and Susan a big round of applause, because honestly, thank you. I was in the committee last year, and I will come in while I'm driving the kids, whatever. But Kholane and Susan will push alone. Whether we come to meetings or not, they will push, and they push them out. And I believe we've let them down by not pushing with them, because a lot of things could have been discovered and done earlier. So that's why I want to give them their roses while they're still here, because I can't say 20 years down the line and you say, oh, remember Kholane, he needs to know today that his work is exceptional, and history will judge him for his dedication to these committees of KMSS. Anyway, moving along, we did do the adjudication process, I think, and in that instance, the call-out was not adhered to. I think, if I'm not mistaken, one person came, and that person came with fresh eyes, which is Prof. Marty. That's why we wrote her into the committee. And when we analyzed the whole thing, we realized that there's a lot of things that we've left out, and we need to go back to the drawing board. So we went back to the drawing board, and we decided that we will re-implement this process and redo some of the other things, because we had challenges. The first thing that we did with SAQA, they told us that we cannot have a designation and go all out and apply, because their process is quite long, and the next thing nobody is taking up. So we will be piloting this process first and see where we are before we can restart the SAQA process. We've been through the SAQA process. We know what they want. We have that checklist, and we are doing ticking all those boxes. We attended their workshops. So it wasn't without any effort that we reached this decision. And also, now we've decided to also benchmark with other accreditation bodies. I think, what's this name? South African Council of Natural Scientists Professions. So we decided to benchmark with them to see how we can go about ensuring that our designation journey is smooth, is clean, and as I said earlier, we don't have the resources for queries and all those things. We need to make sure that what we put on the table is clean, it's straight to the point. And we want to have designated credible designations. We cannot have you saying you're a KMSA designator and then the next thing it is questionable. That's where the code of conduct will also come in. So we want to make sure that what we bring to the table is of high quality to all. So we will be doing all those things for the designation work. Hence, there is a delay. It's not that we are dragging our feet. We are working on it. Okay, so this is the sort of an example of the certificate we had. We did pilot everything. 70, you are famous. We used to certificate. I think it was intentional. So we are working. This is what we will be presenting as part of the designation. So the assessment committee was appointed and everything was done until we realized there are loopholes and we went back. So we thought we'd just give you a clear indication of what you will get when you are once accredited. And remember, I know we all want to be accredited, specialists, experts, and whatever, but we meant to make sure that in that process we are right by saying Jeanette is an expert or she's still a junior and she needs to work on X, Y, Z. So hence we are doing what we are doing now. So I think that's, if there's more questions, the committee will be able to answer and give you more information on that. So in that process, we were also given an opportunity to see the AI assessment tool that the committee is still piloting and testing. Jean came through with it and he presented the tool for us to make sure that we also finish the process quite quick. I think I'm right with that. So that the committee is still testing. We've already identified some glitches, but we are working on it and then it will be presented to the board for them to go through it and then approve it, and then from the board it will move on to the whole community. So please look forward to that. I know that I said the Profcom, I gave them a nickname. I can't pronounce long things, so I come up with nicknames. So excuse me for that. Okay, so to continue, because we are the professionalization and stakeholder management committee, we have been having engagements with the different fields, and we decided to do this map to see who we need to focus on. But even with that, we've realized there are some people that we focus too much on and left key stakeholders out of the loop. So one of our strategy plan is to make sure that we engage all the relevant parties with all the same effort, even though we will follow this map to make sure that we are not all over the place. So the committee will collaborate with the content committee, for example, on KM Week and make sure that in that process we engage with all the relevant parties. So it's not the professionalization only, the content committee will be our key stakeholder as well. And you all see how great they made this conference be. So we need their expertise when it comes to KM Week. Just a side note on the KM Week, I think one of the things that we identified was that there are organizations that has taken KM Week under their wing, and they've done exceptional. But as KMSA, we also need to come to the party and be visible. We are not visible, we are just passengers in that train or that bus. So colleagues, when we do this KM Week that is coming in mid-October, can we make sure that as KMSA members, we are very visible and we support each other in the different organizations? I think last year, ATNS and HSRC had a big bang with their events, but not all KMSA people were there, or even if we were there, our mark was not, our identity was not there. So we need to be intentional about being part of KMU because it will really get our identity out there, our brand out there in different organizations. And I think that will also help us getting membership up, because if organizations see how we support each other and we are visible in KM related events, they won't hesitate to be part of this community. So I think it's something that we need to really think. As I said, I come with a plea and calls and begging that we please participate in all KMSA activities and not only just for this beautiful 3-4 days that we meet each other. So we will be looking at those for the stakeholders. And the TWG, we sat around as a committee and realized that we cannot do everything and anything alone. And we really like to have fresh eyes coming through and working with us and making sure that we reach our mandate. So the TWG will be Tatamolala's baby in a way, that he will make sure that he manages their agenda. But we're still working on the terms of reference and everything admin that is related when establishing TWG. I think we are a bunch of very perfectionists group. So we never want to put anything that is not well baked on the table. So we came up with a concept and thought it was great, but then we then set up again and assessed ourselves and said, firstly, let's get our house in order. So we're working on all the admin that needs to be done, and we'll be launching it to the community to say, please be part of the TWG, because we know we have experts that can assist us in a lot of the activities that we do within the professionalization community to make sure that our mandate is run and finished by 2027. So this is my other plea, that when you do a call out, can you please come and participate? It's a new baby that we're launching, and we want to see it succeed. We will decide on the actual agenda, but our main thing will be the designation and the stakeholder management that we want you to be part of. And also the tools that we will be launching, that before we put it to the whole community, then you will be able to go through the TWG, and they will have meetings and see if it's really working. So yeah, that is what we will also be launching, and then Dr. Malala will be running with that together with the committee as he supports with it. And that is all from me. Don't know if there's any questions.
Are there any questions for Jeanette? Oh,
Hey.
she's gonna have it. Are you okay? Just fight quickly and I'll.
Thank you, and well done for the work that has been done. It's quite commendable. What I wanted to find out from an NQF level, what sort of level is the certification, and does it also recognize, prior learning, when you are getting certified? Thanks.
I will give
maybe just to add on. I'm covered. No, just to add on your stakeholder map. I missed out on the academic. It's the. Oh, I didn't see it. Sorry. I saw small letters.
For that question, I'm going to. They said to me as a chairperson, I need to learn to delegate. Dr. Chauke, please respond. Can we have the mic from Dr. Chauke?
Oh no, thank you very much. So the question is, what's the NQ level for the certificate? It is not graded from NQ level perspective. It is a professional body certificate. The same as if you're an engineer, you keep your professional registration with your professional body, and you behave in a way that is congruent to what is expected of an engineer. That's one. The designations themselves will take into consideration your qualification, your experience, your previous, your prior learning. Your prior learning as well. So it takes into consideration those elements. But of course, if you have a diploma and 20 years experience in relevant, the committee will decide how can that get people. It is also possible that you can come up with a high qualification with very little experience in the same field. I hope that answers.
Thank you. Any other questions? All right. Everybody hear that? Jeanette, thank you very much for all the work that your team has done. I really, really appreciate it.